Hello, this is Lieutenant Rice. I've been asked to put together a brief video showing the hydrant recording capabilities of maintenance and how to create a work order within First Do. So this is the normal screen you'll see when you open First Do. If you look at the left here, you'll see all the icons and different areas. Underneath Asset, there is a hydrant icon. Go to that, and you'll see hydrant list and hydrant work order board. We're going to open up the list. That's going to populate all hydrants within our city. We can select one or multiple. If I want to create a bulk service, I can do that by selecting more than one hydrant. Once I select more than one hydrant, you'll see here that this bulk service tab has illuminated, so I'm going to select that. And here is your checklist. It asks a few questions about the condition. Does it need paint? Is the hydrant damaged in any way? Is it leaking water? Does it have reflective band? It's got numbering and location verification questions. The next section is going to be maintenance checklist. Remove caps, look for thread damage, gasket conditions, simply pass or fail. As we get down to the flush hydrant, you'll notice here it's got a up and a down arrow. We are going to be flushing hydrants for a minimum of 5 minutes at the highest volume of flow that you can. Try and exercise that valve and flush that sediment out of the system. Be mindful if we need to use an elbow to redirect that stream to keep it from damaging any landscape. So I'm going to select however many minutes that I had ran it for, but remember it needs to be a minimum of 5. So we scroll down here, we'll see some other options here that we have an in service or out of service. If we need to take it out of service, we need to black bag it. Also notify the hydrant specialist. He will make a notification to Public Works if need be, if it's outside of his ability to repair. And then finally, if any item has failed, did you create a work order? I'm going to go ahead and close this, and we're going to take a look at what one of those work orders would look like. So again, I'm going over here to the hydrant. I'm going to scroll down to the hydrant work order board. I do want to mention that I have put in a request to have a work order tab populate within the checklist to make that a little easier instead of coming out here and doing it. So we'll select that, and you can see here I made an example earlier. It's on the board. So I'll just redo one here, new work order. You'll see here the first drop down box is hydrant repair request. If I click that, nothing's going to change. We're going to keep that the same. It's automatically going to populate whoever's logged in doing the checklist. Phase is going to be created always. The rest of these you can see would be applicable for Public Works or the specialist. Work order type. This is one that we are going to select and specify. Some options here are hydrant has low flow, low pressure, out of service, is damaged, needs serviced. I'm going to go ahead and write this one up as if it's got a leaking bonnet. So I will put the hydrant's functioning, but it needs serviced. So here I'm going to select which hydrant. We had 1-001. If I put in the hydrant number without selecting that correlating number below, it will not register it when I go to save it. It'll show that I have not put in a hydrant number, so just be mindful of that if you have that issue. I'm going to select it here, and it will stick and populate. Here, this date field we're not going to worry about. This is more of a When is it to be expected to be repaired? We don't have that information. In the summary, I'm going to just simply list hydrant, hydrant is leaking oil. And then here I can be more specific. The hydrant is leaking oil from the bonnet. When flowing water. Okay, work performed is going to be somebody else's responsibility to list. We do have the capability of taking pictures. We can upload that here if we feel that's going to be helpful. And then we're going to press save. You'll see this populate within that work order board, and you can see where it's at in the process of being repaired. So as it gets created, prevention's going to see this, assign it to the hydrant specialist. He'll either take care of it himself and move that over to completed, or he's going to forward that to Public Works. Once Public Works is done with it, they will put that over into review for completeness, which a member of our prevention is going to take a look at and determine that it is complete. Right. So going back to the hydrant list, just want to go over a couple functions that may be helpful. If we want to take a look at the map area, note that there's a map icon here that will show me exactly where that's located. I can zoom in or zoom out and zoom in as needed. You can also see that there are a couple tabs here where you can start that service or flow test from this screen as well. Again, prevention is going to be doing all the flow testing. We are going to be doing the service maintenance. Just because you may see when you go to one of these hydrants to put in information that there has been some service done on it. If a flow test has already been done during that calendar year, we are still servicing that hydrant. It does not keep us from needing to do that. Just want to make you aware of that. So I'll close that. And if I want to open and close this map at any time, I can just click this icon here. There's a search bar up here. If I'll need a specific address in order to use that to find a hydrant. So if that's all we have, you can put that in there and see if one populates. Also on the upper left hand corner, you'll see a drop down menu. These are quick lists. Currently there's a couple here that administrators have access to add or delete from. I've talked with administration about disseminating our shift hydrant list here, creating an A, B, and C so it's easier to find. Not sure if that's going to be able to be done or not, but hopefully that will be. Another thing I want to mention is that using our iPads in the field, I've been told that the First Due app is not ideal for the hydrant logging. It's more for incident related functions, so I have added on the iPads a secondary First Due home screen function. It'll say Safari on it. It'll be a web-based access to First Due. Be mindful of that and try to use that secondary icon for First Due and not the actual mobile app. That's all I have. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to your captains, and they can reach out to myself or administration and see if we can get your questions answered or make some adjustments within the program. Thank you for your time.